Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Dynamo. Okay, we're on episode 3 of doing editor stuff. So let's get kicked straight into it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is that I don't have a competition set up that I want to use, so we're going to make a competition from scratch. Ireland, because this can be, I keep forgetting to do this. Republic of Ireland. Okay. Now, you can start from scratch if you want. What I prefer to do is get an established competition in there that you want to use roughly to get the template from, and go down to the bottom. Let me just move this for a second. You pop it there. Very bottom, there's duplicate. Click duplicate, and what it'll do is it'll give a unique ID. So this is a new competition that has all the same names, all the same details, but it doesn't have the same ID, and that's important. So I'm going to call this the Provincial Championship. Now, the long name is what it comes in as when you kind of go into the competition proper. The short name is what it appears as, kind of like in I can't think of the examples for competitions, but for clubs, the short name will be what appears on the league table, and the long name will be what appears when you go into the club's kind of like general info and about section. The 3-letter name in fixtures beside the name, it'll show like a 3-letter thing. That's what this is. So this would be the Irish Provincial Division. Nope. I call it the Pro. Okay, so reputation. I'm going to give it a reputation of 50. Type. Now, it's going to have competition level 1, but it's not a top division because it's not feeding into European competitions. It's just regular division. Down here, goal line technology. Perfect. Okay. Now, parent division, we will be getting to this. So go back to database. Now, it's not going to update until you reapply your filters. Apply your filter again, there it appears. Now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this again, except what we're going to do is we're going to put in... Now, I'm creating a competition for the 4 provinces of Ireland, which would be Munster, Ulster, Leinster, Connacht. You can design this in whatever way you want, for however many subdivisions you want. I'm creating a competition with 4 subdivisions. The important thing is you need to have kind of like what I call an umbrella division, which is what everything is grouped under, and that's what I've done just there with the provincial division. So now we're making Munster, and then MUN. Now here for parent competition, you want to put in that umbrella competition. Contains Ireland. So I want to put in that provincial competition. And then type. Actually, I'll do this at the very end because there's a handy way of doing this at the very end. So, okay, yes. So the Munster is done. And then what I want to do is I'll just duplicate this again and just Leinster. And then LEI, duplicate, Ulster, ULS, and then the last one, Connacht, CONAUGHT, oh, the U letter and I. Then con. Okay. So now all of them have that parental division because I duplicated one and already is set to. But what I do is I want to select all of them, edit, and now we're going to mass edit the stuff that I want in one go. So it'll be competition level 1, regular domestic division, goal line technology. Don't need boundaries. Everything's going to be set so that it works kind of within itself. Ball color doesn't really matter. So uses extra fish, uses seeded teams only. No, none of this. Okay, so now we go to clubs. Nation is Ireland. And now this is handy. The way I have this set up basically is that I have secondary divisions here. So they're all blank because none of them are in secondary competitions. Now, I have found this incredibly useful. Local region. Now, if you go into kind of like your competition, like if you go into local regions and then nation contains, say, England. So if you wanted to create kind of like league pyramids based off of regional divisions, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can have 9 competitions based off of those regions, where if you were then to search for them, you could put in England. And then what you do is you have your local region, and then you can search by regions. Southeast, Southwest, all the way down, like West Midlands. So that's a handy thing, and I will be using this. So let's go in. So what I do is local region, and then I'm going to add 3 of them, because this is just handy for me. Is Munster, is Leinster, is Ulster. So what I can do is these ticks, you can tick them to include them in the parameters. So I'm going to do is local region is Munster. So this is only bringing up Munster clubs. And I'm going to have 8 teams per division here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so these 8, again, edit, competition. Now this is important. You went to division in the last one. Now we're going to go down to secondary divisions. So click, open. Nation, it's annoying how you need to keep doing this. So Munster Championship. And now untick, tick is Leinster. It already has 8 selected from before, so we're just going to go ahead with that. Competitions, back to secondary divisions, and now we're going to select that Leinster Championship. Now we're going to go back, untick is Ulster. Now, an important point, like I know this for Ireland, but like Derry City has its based nation in Northern Ireland, so it's not going to appear when I'm filtering for Ireland or when I'm filtering for Irish provinces. So I'm doing that because I know this database and I know these teams, but it's something to pay attention to. Sometimes you can kind of like, it can exclude certain things. Like if you're looking for Welsh teams and you put in if you're filtering for Welsh teams, Swansea probably won't appear because Swansea's nation is England, but its based nation is Wales. So that's something to pay attention to. So I go back to here, secondary division, it'll be Ulster, and then I'm just going to put in name, contains Derry City FC. There we go. Notice here, look, base nation, Northern Ireland. So competitions, secondary division, and it'll be the Ulster Championship. And now, this is where it gets useful. You can have all of these. I'm going to delete this one, but you can say is not. Now, there's 4 provinces in Ireland: Munster, Ulster, Leinster, Connacht. So if I'm filtering for things that are not Munster and not Leinster and not Ulster, all that's left is Connacht. And what comes up is Connacht. Now, Alton United, no idea why they're in here. No idea whatsoever. But and Derry City, again, Derry comes up because it's not in either of these, and that's just important to remember. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Raise and do 9, go up, Control, click Derry, it deselects it while still selecting everything else. Go back into General, Subdivisions, and now we're going after the Connacht. Now I've all that set up. You go back to your nation rules, divisions. You're looking for this one, subdivisions. Add, now contain subdivisions, secondary divisions. Add, contain subdivisions. The first one is the umbrella competition, which will be the provincial championship. And then you add in those subdivisions. There's 4 of them, so you go to Connacht, Leinster, Munster, Ulster. Next, I want 2 rounds. Substitutions 3 from 4, 0, 0. Match day, Saturday. And now from in here, you have that subdivision table. Now what's handy is it gives you the options to do everything. These are for across all of those subdivisions. And if you go into them, you can then specifically attribute something individually in there. You go into your general. Now, what I do is I'm going to copy this here from the league sorting rules, and I'm going to go back into here and paste. but I'm going to rearrange this and move matches between teams up to the very top, because I want this to feel more like a cup format, because less teams, and it's just like when you've got a competition like that, I think matches between teams is a better sorting record for less teams like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to playoffs and I'm going to have a championship playoff where the top of each of those subdivisions then goes into a cup competition to play off for the championship of the umbrella division. So that means they can win their local division and win the championship playoff. So this will be a number of teams in playoff 4. Match rules. Yep. And that's beautiful. Now, I don't have time to do it today because I'm in a little bit of a rush, but one thing you also have to pay attention to is if you're having more than one subdivision and you want to, so if you want more than one layer of subdivisions, like when I'm going forward to this database, I'm going to have maybe 3 or 4 tiers of provincial competitions and about 5 tiers of national competitions. So the provincial championship is that tier 1. So if you go into that's Connacht, I love it. Well, let me just fix this. Connacht, perfect. Okay, so you go in here. If you go into the Connacht division, it'll give you division for promoted teams, division for relegation teams. This is important because if you want the Connacht championship to relegate teams into like the Connacht first division, you will assign that in here, because it doesn't give you that option in a regular one, only in competitions with subdivisions, because subdivisions are trying to group teams together, because you don't want a team from Connacht getting relegated and then getting put in like the Leinster first division, because that's not the region that competition plays in. So it's keeping that in mind, because that's important. Subdivisions play out exactly the same way as primary divisions, but I have my primary division from the 1st of the 1st to the 5th of the 8th. So I'm now going to push these to be, we'll say, the 17th to the 12th. So in practice, how this works is we have a provincial competition at the very beginning, followed by the national competition. And to again show you how this works in practice, because we have 8 teams per competition, so there's 7 plus 7, and then if they get into the championship, that's an extra 3 games plus 17, and then it's plus 22 because there's 11. You play 11 teams in the national championship, times 2 is 22, so you end up with 39 league games in a season. That's a fine season. So we're going to, again, rules, test rules, written nature rules are valid, file, save as, and then don't save over anything. Always when you've done some work, save over a new file. That's important. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording here. I'm going to load up the actual Football Manager proper and going to show you what this looks like in game itself, and just so you can see how those competitions schedule themselves over the over the league season. So I'll be back to you in a short while to show you how that looks. Okay, so we're back to this screen now, and it's only now when I realize I have no music on the background. So if you're hearing music now, it's because I put that in post-processing. I forgot to put it on in the meantime. But okay, so I just want to show you how this looks out in practice. So like my system is like, I never go start employed, single team, save file, because there's just no point. Whatever comes up, view squad, go into schedule. Now, I've got Munster Championship followed by the Airtricity League. Now, that is a lot of games. That is a lot of games being crammed into a short period of time. And as you can see, there's only 2 games this month, so I'm going to probably move the Airtricity League back a month and then compress the Munster Championship, so you can kind of work out how it tracks over the league season, because there's way too many games being played in January here, which is like, I know January is usually a congested month, but that's insane. Now you go into the Munster Championship. The thing I like is you've got your top place, rules, top team qualifies for championship playoff, and it won't give you the championship playoff until you've actually gotten to the end of those 14 games. And go into your Airtricity League First Division, rules, you've got your promotion playoff, while at the same time, let's go up to the AE, SSE, and you've got your relegation playoff. But 22 games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim through this very quickly because I'm going to add an unemployed manager, sim to the end of the season, so that you can see that the players, the players who play all of those league games across those two competitions, they end up getting like the full competition. Because like, just to show you what I mean, go to Monaghan United, actually go to anyone with real players. There we go. Adam Hayden. Over here, appearances. This will include his national division and the secondary division. The appearances will appear in here. So I'm going to sim to the end of the season just so you can see that. Okay, we're back. Let's kick into job security, electricity league. So Shelburne went down. Let's see how this looks in the league. This can... Oh, did I forget to actually adjust? I think I forgot to put in that there is somebody... Yeah, I forgot to do that. Okay, well, that's going to be awkward. This is a handy thing about because there should be approaching playoff. How did 2 go up but only 1 went down? That's weird. That is very, very weird. Okay, so it's all of us be running through little tests just so that you can identify little things like this, because like I had identified in the electricity league that I didn't have a relegation place and that relegation playoff. So I had one. I'm surprised this didn't catch it because it shouldn't have let me go through with that one. But you can see how that kicked through for that anyway. But we'll go into like Shamrock Rovers. Shamrock Rovers. There we go. So we'll go Alan Manis. Typically goalkeepers, look, 36 games. And you can see in the history, it'll come up with the 36. So he played 36 league matches. Now we'll go into form. Oh, that's not going to show me. Of course, it's not going to show me. Stats, no. There we go. Like electricity league, 20 appearances. Leinster Championship, 14. Add them together, 36. There's the All-Ireland Champion Cup. That's a default competition that exists in the game itself. Sneak peek, I'll be editing this. This will be a part of the Continental rules for you. But this is one of the reasons why I like secondary divisions, because again, you got your Leinster Championship beforehand, and then you got the SSE electricity. There's one thing that I like to do personally, which is you've got your 4 competitions. Oh, and there you go. So the league tables. So Shamrock Rovers. I'll just show it here, yeah. Round 3. So Sligo won Connacht, Waterford won Munster, Derry won Ulster, and Shamrock won Leinster. So they all play off in a competition. So the Shamrock Rovers. So like the Munster Championship is Waterford, but Shamrock Rovers go into competitions. Overview: 1 Leinster Championship, 1 Provincial Championship. And I think I'm going to give the individual champions themselves maybe 5 less reputation, just to swap this order, because this appears in order of competition reputation. So that can be a handy one. Look how unreputable the FAI Cup is. Jeez, the Irish League is a fucking joke. So like, yeah, secondary divisions, a lot of fun. They can add a lot of spice and character to your competitions. I recommend you play around with them, because like I now can't make leagues without them. They offer me so much versatility. And one thing I like to do, like I mentioned, now for whatever reason the FM editor won't let me do it anymore. It let me do it in advanced rules, but I can't do it in basic rules anymore. But I would have, if you go down to cup competitions, I would start a cup, but I would have it pulling from winners of divisions. So what I would do is I would have a competition of 8 teams, and it would be the winners of each provincial competition playing the runners-up of each provincial competition. So I would essentially have an All-Ireland Cup, and that's just fun to me. But yeah, no, hope you've enjoyed this one. Episode 4, I'm going to be covering how to set up transfer windows as well as cup competitions, and then episode 5 I'll be running through youth competitions, because youth competitions, the cheat way to do it is just click reserve, main team, under 19 main team divisions. But here's one, custom divisions, and then you can set up a specific youth competition. A lot more fun that way. Expect that in episode 5. My friends, thank you very much. Hope you have a good day.